There are any number of ways to measure a coach's success. Championship seasons, wins versus losses, the reach a team's potential extends. But sometimes it can be summed up by a simple snapshot from the finish line.
He helps us build faith in ourselves. And he gives us the training, but helps us to have confidence.
Try to sight and then breathe. You are definitely not alone.
He's a friend as well as a coach, mentor.
It's more than triathlon. It's about supporting and friendships that develop, and that's something that you really can't put a price on.
As co-founder of Team Blaze, Scott Roy has helped countless athletes conquer the course reserved for those called Ironman.
I did it for the first time and it was a miserable experience, I'll be honest. But you know what, I was kind of hooked after that and I really wanted to get better at it, so I kind of stayed in it.
It's been 5 years since Phil Sandifer first finished. He's forever indebted for the help from Scott and the team that fateful 2006 season.
Right, a mix of carrot and stick, so to speak. You know, motivates you, gets you up and going, but also pushes you hard to say, hey, you gotta do the work.
It was December 2005 when Phil found Scott. His life turned upside down by the previous 6 months. A training day in June of that year ended with Phil rescued from Medical Lake, half drowned. Subsequent tests showed that day's collapsed lung, though, was the least of his worries.
It basically, they discovered I had massive heart disease, and they told me that basically I shouldn't be doing Ironman at all, and I should probably have heart surgery. About 2 weeks later, I went in and I had a 5-way heart bypass surgery. So that's when at the age of 35. Huge shock. I went from being super fit for Ironman for 1 week till like literally the next week I was totally couldn't do anything. I could barely walk. You know, so basically my rehab was learning how to walk and move my arms and just, get around. And basically I remember my longest walk during the first month was probably using a little, what do they call those little walkers, just down to the block and back. And that was basically my whole day's activity, was just to do that.
Rather than retire from the sport, Phil fought back. And less than a year after surgery, his grueling rehab culminated with celebrating success.
It's an amazing feeling. All that pain kind of goes away for a period of time, and you just feel like you're at the top of the world.
I was very nervous coaching someone that had just had heart surgery a year before. However, one thing that Phil has helped me with is to realize that you can get back on your feet and you can do the things you want to do and live your life, and you don't have to sit on the sidelines.
The lessons Scott learned that summer stuck with him, but never did they hit home like they do now.
There's some dark times when you go through heart surgery and you don't know what to expect. You don't know what's going to happen on the other side of that. Are you going to come through the heart surgery? And then beyond that, what's your life going to be like? Is it going to be the same? Is it going to be different?
Circumstances Scott now knows firsthand. Less than a year ago, it was him struggling through a training session at, of all places, Medical Lake. Heavy arms, shortness of breath, blood with his cough. Finally, a battery of tests revealed he would need surgery too. His operation was to fix a failing valve.
Each day I feel fortunate because last year I didn't know if I'd ever do this again. They said, you should never do triathlon again.
It has been just 6 months since his surgery. Still, he'll be there Sunday alongside Phil. A coach who proves the measure of success can simply be finding the finish with his team.
I want my son to grow up knowing that you can do what you want to do. Don't put limitations on yourself. If you want to do something, you put your mind to it and you go out there and you do it.